Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. If you have been watching my channel for the past couple of months, you know I've been reading strictly on my Kindle. I had a free subscription to Kindle Unlimited that lasted 3 months, and today it officially expired. I canceled my Kindle Unlimited subscription because literally the past 2 weeks, I can't explain how badly I just wanted to read a physical book. I go in phases where I really want to read physical books or I really want to read on my Kindle. I will say reading at night on your Kindle is like an experience like no other, just being able to lay down and hold it. I can't even imagine the experience of having the little stand and the like button to switch the pages. I have been so badly just wanting to hold a paperback, take my little pen, annotate, highlight, dog ear pages. I just need to hold a physical book. So I am so excited for today's video because we are going to be doing a reading vlog and we're going to be catching up on some new releases that I have not been reading. I definitely was still buying books during this little span of me having my Kindle Unlimited subscription. You've probably heard me talk about this 1,000 times already if you watch my videos, but the main reason why I was not reading physical books while I had that free subscription is I was trying to save as much money as I could, so I was only reading books on my Kindle. I don't know, it's just anytime I have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, whether I have it for free or whether I pay for it, I usually will only read books on that platform until I cancel the subscription. It is just the way my brain works. I can't explain it, but I'm so excited because we are going to be reading some books that I've been buying but haven't been able to read. We are going to be catching up on what are new releases to me, but honestly, I feel like everyone's already read these. It is also the end of summer, so I really want to read some of these books before fall starts because I feel like these are good books for the summer. You probably recognize the book that I'm holding up, but the first book we are going to be reading in today's video is The Love of My Afterlife by Kirsty Greenwood. I almost said Christy. I am so excited about this book. The only thing I know about it, besides it being a rom-com, I believe, is that it is about this woman who she ends up dying. Like, it's not her time to die. She ends up meeting the love of her life in the afterlife. Given the title, the fates or whatever power bees, they pluck her from death. I think they meet in like the death waiting room. I don't know what that means anyways, but they pluck her from the waiting room and they put her back in her life. I don't really know what happens from there, but I am very excited to read this. Yeah, it is right now Sunday. I'm right now actually just sitting down, journaling and watching some YouTube videos. I made myself a little matcha today, and then I think I'm gonna start reading this book tonight. I will come back to you when I have any updates on the book. And yeah, I'm so excited for this. So I have read a few chapters of this book so far. I'm right now actually on chapter 5, page 35. I really like this book so far. However, the way that they are portraying the main character is like, I don't know if it's just a pet peeve I have lately or something that I'm realizing that I hate when I see portrayed. I absolutely despise when media portrays women who are single in their 20s or their 30s as weak and something to be made fun of, because at the end of the day, I think that is so stupid. I love relationships. I think the reason that we are all alive as humans is to share love and experience life together. However, that being said, it is okay if you are not in a relationship. It is okay if you are in your 20s and you've never experienced a serious relationship. I really hate that portrayal, and reading this book, that is kind of how our main character is portrayed. She is in her mid to late 20s. She's never been in a serious relationship. She's a virgin. There's a scene where stuff happens and she's kind of made fun of for it, and I absolutely despise that. That being said, I'm really enjoying the book. I know that little rant doesn't make it seem like I would be enjoying the book, but I am. We met our main character as well as the love interest, and the sort of plot that we're gonna go on is, yes, she died and she met the love of her life, but she has 10 days to go back to the real world to be alive again, and she has to hopefully meet him and get him to kiss her on his own free will. I don't know, I'm really liking how fast-paced this is. I also am liking being in this sort of easy to read, fast-paced, easy to understand romance world. I just finished a book on Kindle. It was Quicksilver. I forget who the author is. And I will go more into that book in my wrap-up, but I have a little bit of beef with that book. I think it was really good. However, it was way too long and it was kind of putting me in a slump. So I'm hoping that this really just reignites my love for reading right now, because if I don't my oven is ready for me to put my chicken in. But if I don't pick the right book right now to read, I will fully go into a slump and not want to read anything. So that's my update for today of what I'm feeling about this book and just a random rant, I guess. I will see you tomorrow when I have more updates on the book. This lens is so big. Oh my God. It is Monday afternoon. I just got back from work and I have about 40 pages left of The Love of My Afterlife. I read a majority of the book today and I have a few opinions on it, but I think I might save most of my review for when I actually have finished the book. This definitely is more of a rom-com than a romance. And I've noticed that if you are a big book reader, there are a lot of references to different books, different characters and authors that we love, except it's almost to the point where it's kind of annoying. There's so many references to reading, and at first I thought it was cute because it was sprinkled here and there, but it's almost gotten to the point where it's like every other chapter. But besides for that, I've really been enjoying the book. I like that this book isn't what I was expecting it to be. It kind of took a turn in like a different way that I didn't see the story going. I'm right now on the like last plot twist, I think, at least for the book, but I actually am not going to finish the book right now because I really want to go work out. When we come back, I might low-key listen to the rest of this on audiobook. I listened to a few chapters while I was at work today on the audiobook and I really liked it because the narrator has like a posh British accent. So if you don't want to buy the book, I would recommend listening to it. I was listening to it on Spotify, but even if I don't listen to the rest of the book's been going by really fast when I've just been reading it, and I think I only have like 50 or 40 pages left. So I'm gonna read this when I get back. I think tonight I'm also going to make some banana bread and then we're gonna choose our next read. I have 2 more books I want to read for this video, 2 more new releases. I'm kind of choosing in between 3, but for sure 2 books. I for sure know one of the books that I'm going to read, but the other 2 I might switch. I'm not sure. Anyways, I will talk to you when I am back from the gym. Also, I'm wearing my Taylor Swift folklore cardigan. Literally already whatever.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness.
I finally finished The Love of My Afterlife by Kirsty Greenwood, and I'm gonna give my final thoughts, opinions, and ratings on this book. I'm not going to lie, the writing of this book is very fast-paced and just very light and fluffy. It's very easy to read. This book did not go the way that I thought it was going to. There is a little bit of a plot twist, but it's not even really a plot twist. It's just the book kind of does a 180 and it's not what you're expecting. I'm trying really hard not to spoil this, but I had kind of caught on to it when it had started, and then I was really glad that that is the way that the book went. And then the ending of the book, the plot twist that happens at the end, I was not expecting, but I also really did enjoy that. I think right now, because I did just finish this book, I'm kind of sitting between a 3.75 and a 4-star. I think right now I feel like it's more of a 4-star, but I don't think down the road that I'm going to think about this book all the time. I think this was just like a cute little romance to get me through, so that's why I think it might be more of like a 3.75. This book came out, I think it was like a month ago, so it is still a fairly new release. This came out July 2nd and it's right now August 12th, so a fairly new release. I feel like I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it. If you're thinking about reading this, I would 100% recommend it. It was really cute. And now I still haven't decided which of the 2 books I want to read. We're gonna grab them and talk about them right now. The 2 books that I am going to be choosing between, one of them is a newer release, not a newer release, but it has a newer release in the series, and then this one I actually have no idea when this was released. I just recently hauled this. This is The Bad Ones by Melissa Albert. Hey dude, where can I see 2024? You know what, we're just gonna go on Goodreads because I can't find it on the actual book when that book came out. So this isn't a new release. I don't know why I thought this was like a very recent release, but this came out February 20th of this year. This is a YA book of a town where people go missing in the town and basically they just vanish. No one ever knows what happens to them. And it's kind of this sort of goddess, I believe, that is responsible for it. Our main character's best friend goes missing, and so she is trying to figure out what happened and find the goddess themselves. Am I in focus? I don't know if I was in focus for like any of that. I need to get like a lens that autofocuses. I don't know what's going on with this camera. Anyways, or I could read Powerful. Now, I actually think this came out around the same time as the bad ones, but the reason why I want to read this one is because Reckless just came out, which is a very new release, but I still need to read this, which is the novella for Powerless, which, if I'm being so honest, I don't remember anything that happens in that book and I don't have it in me to reread it. This came out April 30th, so out of the two books, this is technically the newer one. Let me read the first chapter of each book and then I'll come back to you with which one we're gonna read.
What would happen if I took a chance? It's always hard at first glance. I don't wanna, but I know I gotta do it. The truth is hard to swallow. I think I'll chew it.
This is like horror fantasy. I've been really wanting to read a horror book. I really wanted to do like a summer-ween sort of book or sort of video, but summer is pretty much already over. This is almost 400 pages, but I think I'm gonna read this one. I know this isn't like a new release as of late, but it's new to me. And also I feel like it's like new to BookTube. I feel like no one ever talks about this book. So I think we're gonna do this one. I am right now going to read a little bit of this and then I'm gonna start on the banana bread, and yeah. Hi everyone. I just got back from work. It is right now Tuesday afternoon. I am about 118 pages into the bad ones. This book is definitely giving a sort of fantasy horror. That is the genre that I saw it was on Goodreads when I looked it up. And it's interesting because since it is YA, I feel like the writing is pretty simple. It goes back and forth between being, I think it's third person in one of them and then first person in the other chapters. And the chapters where it is first person, it is very intensely like YA first person, where like every sentence is I did this, I wore that, I saw this, I heard that. And it was getting on my nerves at first, but I've gotten used to the writing now, so that writing doesn't really bother me. The plot and the prologue of this book, the whole storyline is very interesting. I still don't know a whole lot about the storyline to really talk on it much. The writing almost feels a little bit empty in an eerie way. Feels like there's something missing and you're kind of uncomfortable reading it, but you don't know why. So I am liking this so far. I don't know how much of this I'm gonna read today. I have a pretty busy night ahead of me. I'm supposed to go to trivia tonight, but I have a lot of chores around my apartment that I really need to do. And I feel like all day today at work, I just was in a really weird headspace. I didn't get a good night's sleep last night. I literally slept, I think, for like 2.5, maybe 3 hours tops. And lately I've been having like anxiety attacks when I drink energy drinks. So I'm A, really tired, but B, just in a weird mental headspace. So I might not prioritize reading tonight, but we'll still do what we can. Unfortunately, this is not an audiobook on Spotify. Otherwise I would listen to it when I go to the gym. But I think I'm gonna go to the gym, just get my body moving for a little bit, and then when I come back I do have to give Stella a bath for sure. I need to do, again, like I said, some chores, and then maybe we'll read, maybe not. Gus and my sister get really mad at me when I bail on plans, but I think I might bail tonight because I just am not really in the headspace to be around a lot of people. So yeah, I'm gonna go get changed to go to the gym, and I will see you when I see you. I am in a really really bad mood, so if I seem like off in this clip, it's just been a really bad day, a really rough day, and I just really need to decompress and journal and just cry out all my feelings. But that being said, I did want to talk about, oh my god, there is a spider! That being said, I did want to talk about the book. So I finished The Bad Ones today. I don't fully know what my review and rating of this book is going to be. Here's the thing. I've noticed as of recently that I don't think I enjoy reading YA, any subgenre, or just YA in general as much as I used to. I think there is a little bit of shallowness in some YA books. It just feels kind of empty. You know, YA books are always going to be super fast paced. That's why I love YA books. I don't know if it's just the YA books that I've been reading recently. They just haven't felt, I don't know, like fully thought out. I don't even know if that's really the right term. I'm really bad at, I think, articulating my thoughts half the time. I said this in the last clip that I was talking about this book. For some reason, this book feels sort of hollow and like there's a lot of tension and it's very eerie, but it also feels kind of empty. It is a good, interesting plot. I think the storyline, the way that the book ends is good. However, if you are someone who needs to fully like understand a plot, it needs to make sense in this world. The ending of this book isn't going to fully make sense. I feel like the ending just happens and there's no explanation of how it's even possible or why, I guess. It kind of explains why, but I don't know. The ending felt a little bit rushed in my opinion. I also think this is very interesting because the last book that I read, I rated a 3.75 and I also rated this book a 3.75, but if I were to put the two books next to each other, the last book is higher in my mind. I don't know if it's just because I like that genre more than this genre, but I don't know. That's like a whole interesting conversation that we could get into another day. This definitely gives this sort of eerie, like what it is like to be in female friendships where they're all consuming and slightly toxic sort of vibe. It takes place, I believe, in January is when the book happens, but I think this would be a great book to read like late fall, maybe November. So if you've been thinking about it, I would give it a chance. Even if you give it a chance and you don't like the book, I'm sure you agree that this cover is beautiful and would look amazing sitting on your bookshelf. I read that book. I don't think I'm gonna read anything tonight. Again, like I said, I'm in a little bit of a better mood now that I'm like talking to a camera and talking about things that I love, but I just need to get my feelings out. So I'm gonna journal, I think, tonight, and then I'll probably start a book at work tomorrow. Deciding between two books. The two books that I'm deciding between, again, powerful. This one is a bit older. This one is a very new release. I think this was released in May or June, and this is a novel love story by Ashley Poston. She is the author of The 7-Year Slip. I absolutely loved that book. However, I have heard people say that this would be great to read in the fall. It's not at all like fall weather. It's very hot out right now, but I'm kind of in the mindset of wanting it to be fall. So I think I might read this one. If I read this one, I could probably finish it and then also read this, but I don't want to risk not being able to read this in today's video. So I think I'll bring this to work tomorrow. There also is the audiobook on Spotify, I believe. I have to double check that. And that's gonna be great because I have a lot of chores that I've been putting off doing so that I could read for this video. And so tomorrow after work, we can do some of those things and listen to the audiobook because I know damn well I'm not doing them tonight. I'm gonna lay on my couch and watch YouTube. But yeah, I will see you tomorrow most likely. I don't really have anything else to say. I'm gonna go make elote and then rot like a potato for the rest of the night. If you can hear the lawnmower outside my apartment, I am apologizing, but it's not my fault. I forgot how much I love Ashley Poston's writing. I've read a majority of this book. I'm right now actually on page 292. So this is a novel love story by Ashley Poston. She is the same author of The 7-Year Slip. In similar fashion, which I'm interested to see her later releases, if she's going to keep on with this sort of like magical realism type of storylines. How 7-Year Slip clip kind of has a magical element to it, this also does. Our main character is going on a getaway with her book club, except everyone this year can't go to the getaway, but she really needs that sort of vacation, that break from reality. So she decides to go, but her car breaks down in this small town and she doesn't have a way to get out. As she spends more time in this town, she realizes that this is the town that her favorite book takes place in. Now, as I've been reading this, I've been kind of going back and forth, especially when I was like towards the beginning of the book. I didn't know if they would be playing at the fact that this could be the author just wrote about a town that really exists. I didn't know how magical it was going to be, but it seemingly is like she's genuinely in a book. So I'm very interested to see how that wraps up. But I just forgot how much I love Ashley's writing. It is so beautiful and poetic. When I read authors that have writing like this, it really reminds me why I love reading, because it just evokes feelings from you. This is a quote literally from page 4, and she is talking about, you know, being a reader and the feelings that you get when you read about certain places. The town was quiet in that cozy, sleepy way that if you close your eyes, you could almost hear the valley breathe as wind crept through it, between the buildings, and was sighed out again. There was once a town, and I was so certain that it would feel like home if I ever made it there. There was a town and it didn't exist. I feel like I can relate so much to the main character in this book for many reasons. Some of them are really personal that I don't need to talk about on the internet, but also just obviously our main character is a book lover. The way that that is described and played out in this book is so interesting and just nice to read. I will say this book, as it's kind of funny that both of the books did this in this video, but the first romance book that I read this week had so many references to books, specifically Happy Place by Emily Henry. And Happy Place by Emily Henry, the pink and yellow, like the book cover dust jacket situation, it's brought up in a way in this book. And I read it and I kind of rolled my eyes because I was like, there's no way I picked out 2 books in a row that bring up Happy Place. I have no beef against Happy Place. I liked the book. It was just interesting to read those books like kind of back to back. This was another quote that I just think is really beautiful and it just really spoke to me. You don't realize how much of life is built for relationships until, newly single, you find yourself with a broken ankle, cooped up on the couch in your 1-bedroom apartment, and you need to go to the restroom. The problem is you've knocked over your crutches and the pain prevents you from moving too much at all. You go through the Rolodex in your head of whom you can call, and everyone has someone that's more important than you in their lives that they need to take care of. You have to weigh how much of a bother you're going to be and how much you can rely on them. Reading that was a little knife to the heart, but this book has been really great. I think right now it's in between a 4 and a 5 star. I definitely don't think this is like a 6-star read, but it's been going by so fast. The writing is really great. It also takes place in a pretty short time span, so I feel like this would be a great book if you just really want to binge a book. Everyone always talks about how in their mind they think of like Sleepy Hollow is from Gilmore Girls. I don't remember the town from Gilmore Girls, but everyone always says that they think of that town. For some reason, I'm thinking of like the town from the Vampire Diaries mixed with Halloween Town. Don't ask, I don't know. I really want it to be fall. Anyways, I'm gonna go lay on the couch and finish. I think I have like 50 pages left or something. I'm very excited to see how this wraps up. I also have a theory about our main love interest and then also a side character, and I'm curious to see if my theory is going to be right. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this wraps up. So also beautiful, beautiful cover. I'm so glad I bought this book because that is stunning. I feel like romance covers that have come out lately have been so beautiful. So yeah, love this. Let's go read. So I finished A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. I actually finished it on Friday, right when I came home from work. I had like 40 or 50 pages left. Literally, I just talked about it in the last clip, you know. I finished it and then I fell asleep and I took a nap for 4 hours. At what point is it not a nap and I just fell asleep? And then yesterday I was busy all day. So I'm finally getting around to filming this clip, but I also think it's kind of nice because I've had time to sit and kind of marinate on my feelings about the book. I don't know why, but lately I've seen a lot of people say that they were really let down with this book. I don't want to say disappointed because it doesn't feel like that's the consensus, but it feels like everyone just wasn't expecting what they felt when they read this book. A lot of people say that they thought this was a really cozy cozy read and that they should have read it in the fall. But I don't think that like even affected my scoring of this book. I gave this book a 4.5. I think that's the final thing that I'm going to settle on for this book, the final rating. It didn't give me a 5-star feeling, but it was such a great book and it was so close to it. There is 2 things that happen at the end of the book that go with like character arcs and lines that I did guess, but that didn't disappoint me in the story at all. And there is a conflict between the relationship, the 2 people, that happens at the end, and it's resolved pretty quickly. I really liked that that was a storyline and something that happened. It felt like it gave it a little extra oomph to the story. I don't know how to really put that to words. But yeah, I really liked this book. I thought it was great. Overall, I feel like all of the new releases that I read in this video were pretty well received. Honestly, I don't even remember what I rated some of them, so that could have been a total lie. If there are any other new releases that I didn't read in this video, I have my Goodreads always linked down below, so if there are any new releases that I haven't read yet that you would like me to read, let me know. I'm also very interested if you read a novel love story, what was your opinion on the book? What was your final rating, all of that. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching to this point. I love you so much. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps my channel out. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.